All right, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Legacy podcast. I'm very excited today. I got my sis here, the queen herself. I'm not going to introduce her. I'm going to let her do that herself. So go ahead, my girl. Let the people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Lashandra Wimberly. I am an award-winning stylist, CEO of House of Lux. If you want to find me, you can find me on social media. But I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Remember, the topic today is all about redefining strength. So, growing up, most of us didn't get the privilege of having strength handed to us and defined for us, right? It was just the environment, the influences around us that created, who we became, right? And sometimes that helps us, but other times that helps us meet our demise as well. So I'm curious, my girl, I'm curious here, whether or not you were a victim of that when it comes to your upbringing, or, um, you know, not only that, but how did you take a step away from those influences and create your own path?
Honestly, yes, I could say I am, but I want to say this because I don't want to disrespect nobody in my family. I do understand that I was given what they had.
Yep.
So I never, by anything that I say, I never want to disrespect my mom in any kind of way, or my parents in any kind of way, because I do understand that however they raised me and my sister, they did it based off of what they knew.
Huge.
Right.
Huge.
So if they never got what they needed, they can't give me what they don't know.
You know what? They can't give you what they don't have.
Right.
So, you saying a lot of that was mentioned in a lot of the other interviews that I had, right? It's your definition of strength is based off of your own circumstances, right? So for your parents, for your grandparents, you got to understand they were in different circumstances, right?
Very much so.
Right.
Very
So
much so.
that we got to be able to give enough grace to understand that what they taught you was based off of their own perception.
Agreed.
You can't knock them for that. Go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
My understanding of strength, I would have to say what we look at strength is actually not strength, is more so endurance. I say that because a person who has really had the weight of the world on their shoulders, or they've gone through a lot of trauma, or just everything is just piling up on them. A lot of people will look at them and be like, you're the strongest person I know. And it's not that they're strong, it's more so that they just have a high tolerance for endurance.
Yes.
Like, my mom says that to me a lot, where she's like, you're very strong, and I just want you to know, I see your strength and I see all of the things you do. And I sometimes look at my mom and I be like, that's not strength. Like, because behind closed doors I might be breaking, or I might be crying about my situation, and understanding that everybody has their own situation. But most of it is I've tolerated a lot.
Yes.
And it took me to get into my 30s to realize that I don't have to tolerate this stuff. Like, I don't have to take what everybody's giving me just because I want to be nice, or I don't want people to look at me like I'm arrogant or I'm mean or anything else. I don't have to tolerate what you're trying to give me.
You know what? Own who you are.
Yes.
That's the gist of it. My mentor, when he was actually the first interview I had, right? We sat, I think, in the same spot. I think it was the same spot. But we sat in the same spot, and what he said is what you described. This is amazing. This has got to be divine. But he said, usually, for most of us, we don't really figure out that part you just mentioned until we hit our 30s, early 30s, right? We get that realization that, wait a minute, I am my own person.
Right.
There's other people on the same journey as me. Let me own my journey.
Right.
So to hear that back, you don't understand that. I got goosebumps over here a little bit, but go ahead. Continue. Did you have anything else? Go ahead.
I think for me, experience wise, one of the things I had to learn in my 30s is that a part of that is I don't have to sit in trauma. I don't have to hold on to family secrets. I don't have to hold on to my trauma just to justify what somebody else wants their appearance to look like.
Oh wow.
Like,
oh wow.
I don't know how many people have ever dealt with being molested or raped or anything like that that they deal with in their family, and their family's like, well, we're not gonna tell nobody.
Yes.
We're gonna keep it to ourselves. If you ever get to a point where you can't hold on to that, most people will try and tell you that you're being weak or you're they just want you to keep it quiet.
Yep.
So their family doesn't look crazy or for not getting you the help that you need. And that's a part of building that tolerance, because if your parents or your family or anybody tells you to hold on to that, your tolerance level starts to build for where, well, if I could take that, I could take this.
Oh my goodness.
And then I could take this. And then I could take that. And then I'm gonna hold on to this and I'm gonna put this on the shelf. And I'm gonna tell you something that I figured out too. For people like that, I don't know if you ever noticed that a lot of older generation are hoarders. And a lot of people, and I associated this, and I don't know what made me associate this, but you know how people look at people and say, well, you're hoarding this, or if I come in your house isn't clean, or this isn't. And I realized that a lot of those people that can't do that is because they're holding on to a lot of trauma.
Ooh.
So it's not the item that they're really holding on to. They probably had something that happened, and they went to the store and they went and bought something, and they sat it on the shelf. And you aggravated them, and they went to the store and they bought something and they sat it on the shelf. And one thing you learn in science and physics is that energy is never created nor destroyed. It's passed from one party to the next.
Yes.
So if my energy is you hurt me and I go and buy this, now that energy is in this item. And so I sit this on the shelf because it's not on me, but it's on the shelf. And I'm constantly grabbing stuff and I'm putting it on the shelf. Yes. And I'm replacing it all and I'm putting it on the shelf. And now when you come over my house, you saying, well, you got so much stuff I don't understand. But you don't understand the amount of trauma that's sitting on the inside. And I've just pushed it to the side and I'm holding on to it. And each individual item means something.
Oh my good girl.
And I'm gonna tell you why I associated that.
Please.
I went through it and I didn't understand it. And it wasn't necessarily that I was a hoarder, but I had so much stuff. And I just had a problem with throwing stuff away. Not necessarily that it was bad stuff that really needed to be thrown away, but I didn't need the amount of charges I had.
Right.
I didn't need the amount of whatever I had. And I had family members that would say stuff about it, and it would irritate my soul. And I was just like, why are they so upset about what's in my house? I don't come to your house to say. And then it hit me one day when I just started throwing stuff away. And every time I grabbed something, I threw something away. It was like I would just have a thought about something that I had held on to.
Wicked.
And then I started to realize, like, yeah, I'm just holding on to stuff because I'm holding on to that trauma. And now when you if you come to my house, you'll be like, well, you need to put something over here. You need to put something over there. I'll be like, yeah. But you know what it is people don't ever associate that with them. Like, if you watch the TV show Hoarders when it was on, the therapist that was there would tell them that they're holding on to trauma. And I watched the show, never heard it.
Yeah.
It was like it went one in ear and out the other. Of
course.
But it makes sense to me now. At this age, it makes sense because they don't know. Most older people don't know to go and get therapy. Or if they heard it, they feel like I'm letting my secrets out for somebody else to judge me. Yeah, and they look at it like they're being judged, and they don't want to be judged, so they'd rather go to the store and go therapeutic shopping.
Retail therapy. But you know that retail therapy turns into a replacement.
Yes. So it's not really therapy. It's not really therapy. It's just you're holding on to, instead of holding on to the emotion, you're holding on to the item. And the item carries that emotion now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think a lot of people realize that they're actively victims of this that you're describing.
They don't.
Are
And
y'all listening? I'm sorry, you keep
you
going.
good,
Oh,
you
no.
good.
Oh my
Most
goodness.
people don't. And they don't realize it because you're not
Oh.
taught it. It takes years sometimes for you to associate those things. It's almost like if you watch a movie and you see where there's a woman who's being cheated on by her husband. They could be rich in the movie, and she'll go buy a purse and she'll sit that purse on the shelf. And then he does something else and she go buy shoes and she put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And when you walk in her closet, it is 1,000 items around the closet. And if you take one of those items, they're gonna know it's gone. Out of all of those thousands of things, one thing, and they know it's gone. And that's because now they have to remember why they bought it. Now they have to remember.
Gotta reflect, make the connection again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all right, so let's go. Oh man, girl, you just threw that out the water. Listen, I wasn't ready. Okay, all right. So this everything you said, I think, is a good segue into the second part, and I think you hit on this a lot, especially when it comes to the unfortunate events that a lot of females experience from family secrets, right? But what is your opinion of the difference between being strong and being silent, if there is a difference?
There's a big difference because for me, being silent, it's not necessarily that you're being weak. It's like I said, is that you're tolerating.
Yep.
But the strength in that would be to open your mouth even when other people are telling you you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it might hurt your auntie feelings. It might hurt your uncle feelings. It might hurt your cousin feelings. It might hurt your mama feelings. It might hurt your daddy feelings. But what you're saying is their feelings is more important than my mental health.
Yes. You know what? Mouthful. Mouthful. Mouthful.
And if you never get to the place where you don't value your mental health and your peace and your space more than you value the opinions of others, you're going to have a hard life.
Yeah.
You're going to have a hard life. Because everywhere you go, you're going to want to be something for somebody else. You're going to want to, yes. Oh. And it's not even necessarily just validation. It's, you want to be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I got to please what you value. I got to please what you think. I got to please what you feel like it might hurt you.
How can you think on your own if that's what you're focused on? You won't ever think on your own. You know what? Goodness gracious.
And holding on to that stuff, I don't know if people realize it or not, but it creates other problems mentally. It becomes your appearance. It becomes your freedom to do things. It becomes, you'll start finding people to be in your life that want to just hurt you, or they don't really care about you. Your value of love becomes trauma.
Yeah, absolutely.
It becomes chaos.
And a trauma creator. Repeated. Yes. Yeah, you find people that fit the unideal bill. You understand? So it's like, no, that's not the people you should be.
Because that becomes your comfort zone.
Yes, it does. Oh my gosh, good grief. All right, man, I wasn't ready. She got goosebumps over here, sweating. It's hot, but it ain't because of the heat. You understand? But the last part, I think, is probably the most important part. Right? We talked about a lot. I think everything we talked about impacts, the listener in some level, some shape or form, somehow. I know you can find yourself in here in some shape or form, but this is the most important part. How can we rewrite the script? We understand all of these consistent things that we're impacted by, from upbringing and everything else. But right now, what can you do? What can we do, right, to rewrite that script and make our community look a lot better than how we see?
Choose you, number one. Choose to not give your kids that. If you have children, you want to make sure that your children feel like you're their safe place. Because if your family created a place where you were molested or raped or whatever trauma is there, and your parents or your family made you hold on to it, and they made you be silent about it, you figured out then that your family, your parents, whomever, was not a safe place for you. And so if you don't have that safe place, make your children have that safe place in you.
Sorry.
So I know she's on the tripod. No, you sitting here talking. That was, Lee, come on now. Finish what you were saying.
Make your children have, that safe place in you. My biggest thing for me is I'm a safe place for my son. And I don't know if I've made myself too much of a safe place for him.
No.
But I am a true safe place for my son.
Yes.
My son will tell me any and everything, even the stuff I don't want to know. He will come home and, Mom, today at school we had this go on, and I've been that for him for so long. I'm just happy that he knows that even if nobody else in the world cares,
yes,
his mom cares.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you that mere bit of presence, especially for a young man, black man, right, living where we are, you are blessing a young man. Okay, no, I'm serious. You blessing that man tremendous, because what you're doing is setting the tone for his comfortability to be able to express himself. And when it comes to us, right, when it comes to, unfortunately, our black community, young black males, that right there is usually the root of the issue that's followed by every other issue. You understand what I'm saying?
When you say that, I got a question.
Tell me.
Do you feel like a man showing his emotion is a sign of strength or weakness?
So that's the bulk of everything, and the issue with everything, right? The issue. So the issue is the perception that's strong in our community is that showing your emotion is weakness. I'm telling you, the once you become intact with the understanding of your own emotion, brother, you might as well be Superman out here. I mean, it's real, man, because what you can do, I'll say it like this. Me and my guys, another interview, Gerald Green, love this guy, my brother, man, he came, back into my life. I think I told you a little bit about him. Came back to my life within the last few years. He just, kind of blessed me with what I needed, right? From a brotherhood standpoint, he came back, just laid it all out for me, right? So, I was talking to him, and we always get, he's a geek like me. You understand? I own being a geek, by the way.
You are not a geek.
Yeah, I know. I'm unique, you hear me? But I own it. Y'all understand? I love, I'm a learner of all, right? I don't stop learning. So we like to have conversations that just hit a lot of different topics, scientific, all types of stuff, right? So what I brought to him was, I don't know if you're familiar with the yin and yang side, right? Where, it's two sides, right? And, masculine energy, feminine energy, or whatever. But there's a reason why there's so much emphasis around that symbol, right? And it's supposed to tell us who we should be becoming if we're not already are. And this is what I mean. That level of a balance of knowing how to tap into both sides, whether you're a female or a male, is when you master yourself. Going back to being able to be in tap with your emotions, right? So if you're super masculine, right?
I don't know how to take that.
I mean, hey, look, it is what it is. I'm a learner just like everyone else, but I'm realizing if you're super masculine, right, that's a problem. If you're not, if you're super feminine, that's a problem as well. For a woman to be strong, you got to be able to tap into both sides, especially living in the day and age that we're in right now.
I tap into both, but the problem is I might tap into one a little bit more than the
I got it. See, that's the learning journey, right? Where you like, okay, let me take a reflection, right? Let me take a step back and realize.
I say that because how do I explain it? I've been so my younger years, I was super feminine. Now I feel like I'm in between being a little bit more masculine, and that's only because of my son.
Yep.
And that's like I have to do things with my son that men do.
I get it.
So I don't know how to work that out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, there is no period or point of perfection when it comes to what I'm saying, right? So
Okay.
it's a constant battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a constant, I don't like to call it self-judgment, but I'm going to say self-evaluation. That's
Okay.
what I'm going to call it, that we need to do, be mandatory about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't pay it attention, we won't be able to measure our optimization, right?
Right.
And our improvement opportunities and areas. So,
Right.
one thing I'm always, maybe a little too much, I got to work on is being a judge of myself, right? Actually standing outside of myself, watching myself in those moments and how I handled them, right? And seeing, okay, what are those little areas in which I could have been the better version of myself? And I do this on a regular basis. So,
So it's not wrong to do that then, because I do. When I tell you I do that, and then I'll ask other people like, "How do you feel about?" But some people tell me I overthink things because of that.
No, so because look, I'm gonna tell you, look, and this is that I learned this from different avenues, different experiences I've had, professional, personal. But feedback is a blessing, babe. I promise you, feedback is a blessing. Now, sometimes the feedback can be tainted. It can be, right? Depending on where it's coming from. But even there's a little bit of value in that feedback too, because it might be some truth to it. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, you might not want to accept it because of where it's coming from, but it might be some truth to it. So,
Understood.
yeah, so me, like I said, and it's just me. Like, I can only speak from my experience, just like you can only speak from yours.
Right.
Right. But I know that that's what keeps me at peace, and I know that's what's helping me move forward and being able to connect with more people because I'm working on those type of things within myself.
Right.
And a lot of people don't prioritize that, and I can't knock them for it, right? Because we got a lot of things to focus on, but why wouldn't you focus on yourself?
Always.
Right.
It's not selfish to focus on self.
You know what?
No matter how many times people tell you being selfish,
they paint it that way. Like, who she thinks she is?
And there's a difference in being selfish and narcissistic as well.
It is.
There is a difference.
It is. It is. Major difference. But they usually get mixed. You understand what I'm saying from a perception standpoint?
Yeah.
And,
well, I think the difference for me is a narcissistic person will try and make you focus on them versus I'm gonna focus on myself, you focus on yourself. Yep. Somewhere we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
It becomes, well, I'm gonna focus on me and you're gonna focus on me.
Right.
And everything is about me.
Right.
And everybody should focus on me.
I can't be around them people, I promise you. Like, yeah, I would dismiss myself so quickly. I gotta get sensitive to it.
But that's the other part with tolerance, though.
Yeah.
Because if you tolerate a lot, you will love to be around those people.
Look at that.
It's just.
Oh wow, that's wicked.
I'm just saying.
It's true though. It's true. But all right, my girl, listen, she, like I said, I blew my mind today. Okay. But I hope y'all understand, the topic of redefining strength entails everything we talked about today.
It does.
Right? So the homework for you, right, is find yourself in this, make the improvements today, right? Get in the right, what I call soil, right? We're all planted in certain places and areas within certain groups of people. Make sure you're around people that's actually moving you forward, pushing you forward, right? And sometimes even this discussion right here is a good version of pushing people forward, right?
Building a better foundation.
Absolutely. And that foundation, once it's solid, it's hard to make that building crumble, right? So I want y'all to be strong, right? Strong like bamboo, y'all. That's what I want y'all to be, right? So while we're having these conversations, this is what sets you up to be the best version of yourself. All you have to do is choose to listen, okay? So I want to thank my girl today for coming, being open with her powerful self, okay? But did you have anything else you wanted to share before we close?
No? Just love yourself. That's it.
Yep.
Love on you so everybody else can love on you too.
Did y'all hear her? I want to love you. You hear me? I want to love yourself first, okay? But no, we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all next time, right? Take care.